Hello. Daily Math Blast 6. Two-step word problems. The librarian asked Ralph and Sarah to help him put books away while they were there. There were 68 books about sports. There were 12 fewer books about crafts than sports, and 8 fewer books about animals than crafts. How many books were there about animals? So this is one of those multi-step problems. So first, let's look at all of the information that the problem tells us. So first, we know 68 books about sports. So sports, 68 books. Now the next thing we know is 12 fewer books about crafts than sports. So we can use our information about sports, the 68, and we know there's 12 fewer. So that tells us crafts, books about crafts, we have 12 fewer. So if I take 68 and 12 fewer means I'm going to take those away. So I'm going to use that subtraction symbol there, and 12. And then I know 8 fewer books about animals than crafts. So that tells me I need to figure out this crafts so that I can get to animals there. So 68 minus 12. Now we've used arrow method in a previous video, so I'm going to use a unit form method here. So remember, you can solve these any way that you want. This is just one way or one strategy of solving these. So I'm going to turn these into unit form, which just means kind of breaking it apart into the value of each place. So I have 8 ones and 6 tens. So 6 tens, 8 ones. Now I need to subtract 12, or 1 10 and 2 ones. 8 ones minus 2 ones is 6 ones. 6 tens minus 1 10 is 5 tens. So I have 5 tens, 6 ones, or 56. So there's 68 books about sports, 56 books about crafts. So now I can go back and solve the animals using this information right here. So 8 fewer books about animals than crafts. So animals, 56 minus 8. So now I'm going to go back to my arrow method that I've used before, because to subtract 8 here, it's very simple and easy to use that arrow method. So 56. Now I'm going to subtract, eventually I'm going to subtract 8, but it's much faster to subtract it in smaller chunks. So first I'm just going to take away 6, because I have 6 ones and I take away 6 ones. That gets me to 50. Well, now I need to subtract 8, not 6, so I need to take away 2 more. So I'm going to subtract 2 more, and 48. So 48 books about animals. Use repeated addition to write an equation to show how many stars are shown by the array. So when we're looking at an array, remember, we like to go, how many rows are there? And then how many are in each row? So I have my rows here. So I have 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So when I'm looking at my array, that's the equation that I'd prefer to write. And 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. Circle the digit in the tens place. Well, I have my ones, tens, hundreds. So tens. There are blank tens in the number. So there are 3 tens in the number. So just remember, right here, ones, tens, and hundreds. Compare the numbers using greater than, less than, and equal to record the results. Compare 2 3-digit numbers. When I'm comparing numbers, I start with the largest place value, which is the place value furthest to the left, and then I look to see the first place value that has a difference. So there's different digits in that place value, and then I can compare them. The easy way to remember the symbols is the open end here. That points to the number that's greater, and the smaller the point, that would point to the number that is less. And then equal means obviously that both sides are of equal value. So let's look at our first set of numbers. We have 187 and 871. Well, if I look at this number, my largest place value is in the hundreds place, largest place value in the hundreds place, so that's where I'm going to start comparing these numbers. So let's look. I have 100 and I have 800s. Well, 8 is larger than 1, so 800s is more than 100. I don't need to go any further. As soon as I find a difference between those, a different digit, I can use that place to compare those numbers. So 800 is larger. So the open end goes towards that number. So this is the less than symbol. So 187 is less than 871. 426, 432. So I'm going to start with the hundreds place. 400s and 400s, that is equal. So then I'm going to move to the tens place, 2 tens and 3 tens. Well, 2 tens is less than 3 tens. So remember, it points to the smaller and it's open to the larger. So 426 is less than 432. Identify the solids below. So recognize and identify cubes, rectangular prisms, cones, and cylinders. So when I'm looking at these shapes, basically what I look for is as soon as I see a circular side or face, I'm looking at that. I know it has to be, in this case, with my choices here, it's either a cone or a cylinder is what I'm deciding between. Cones have one circular face and come to a point. Cylinders have 2 circular faces. So this one comes to a point, so it is a cone. Now, a rectangular prism, when I'm looking at this. Well, rectangular prism, all of the sides are rectangles. So it's going to have 6 of those sides. The big decision here is between whether this is a cube or a rectangle. Well, if it was a cube, all of the sides have to be squares. To be a rectangular prism, all of the sides do not have to be squares. So in this case, these are rectangles, not squares, so this makes it a rectangular prism. So this was Daily Math Blast 6. Thank you.